On a cold morning in January 2012, an image appeared on a forgotten corner of the internet. It was simple, white text on a black background. "Hello, we are looking for highly intelligent individuals." No name, no explanation, just a puzzle, waiting. And the people who solved it never found out who was testing them. The internet likes to tell us it's understood, that everything is logged, everything is traceable, everything eventually gets explained. But that's not quite true. Beneath the surface of the web we use every day, there are things that have never been solved. Messages with no sender, puzzles with no answer, communities that existed for years and then simply stopped. But here's the strange part. These aren't ancient history. They happened in plain sight, on forums, on image boards, on websites anyone could visit. And yet, in every single case, the people who created them walked away without a trace. These are 3 internet mysteries that still have no answer. Mystery 1, Cicada 3301. It started, as so many internet legends do, on 4chan. On January 5th, 2012, a single image was posted to the board for paranormal discussion. Black background, white letters, a picture of a cicada, and beneath it, a message. "Hello, we are looking for highly intelligent individuals." To most people, it looked like a hoax, but hidden inside that image was something else entirely. Run the file through steganography software, the practice of hiding data inside an image, and a second message appeared. A phrase, Tiberevs Clavdivs Caesar, a clue pointing to the first Roman emperor's cipher. What followed was nothing short of a global scavenger hunt. Each solved clue led to the next. A book code referencing an ancient Welsh text, a poem, a phone number that played a recorded voice, posters taped to lampposts in cities across the world, GPS coordinates, and finally, a website on the dark web that could only be reached with a password. But here's where it gets strange. The final stage wasn't public. The people who reached it were told to keep quiet. And the message they received? "We have now found the individuals we sought. Thus, our month-long journey ends." Think about that. An organization with the resources to coordinate puzzles across continents, who could plant physical posters, maintain dark web servers, and design cryptographic challenges that stumped entire online communities. And yet, after recruiting whoever they wanted, they simply vanished into the dark. The puzzles returned in 2013, and again in 2014, each one harder than the last. Then, as suddenly as it began, Cicada stopped posting. No name, no cause, no explanation. So, who were they? Some researchers believe it was an intelligence agency, a recruitment test for code breakers, run by an organization like the CIA or MI5. Others point to a hacker collective or a security firm testing new encryption methods. A third theory is simpler and stranger, that it was an elaborate art project or an alternate reality game that simply decided never to reveal itself. But here's the thing. In more than a decade, not a single person has ever credibly claimed responsibility. For a puzzle built to recruit the smartest people alive, that might be the most revealing detail of all. Whoever made Cicada 3301 didn't want to be found, and so far, they haven't been. Mystery 2, Lake City, Quiet Pills. Now, the second mystery doesn't begin on a puzzle board. It begins with a Reddit account and a death. In 2010, a user called Religion of Peace posted a seemingly ordinary thread. The military. What's the strangest thing you've ever seen? The answers were mostly what you'd expect, but in the comments, this same user mentioned something strange, a place called Lake City, and something he called quiet pills. It meant nothing to almost everyone who read it, and then, in 2011, the account went silent. Its owner, a former soldier, had died. But here's the strange part. After his death, the account posted again. Someone, or something, was still using it. Investigators dug in, and what they found turned a forgotten comment into one of the darkest corners of the early internet. Lake City Quiet Pills was a password. It unlocked a website, lakecityquietpills.com, that looked, on the surface, like an ordinary image hosting forum for veterans. But the name itself was the first red flag. Lake City is home to the Lake City Army Ammunition Plant, one of the largest ammunition factories in the United States. And quiet pills? In the right circles, that's slang for bullets. The thing that makes a gun go quiet. Beneath the surface of the site, hidden in the code, were job postings that read less like a message board and more like a marketplace. Dates, locations, and code words that some investigators interpreted as contracts. The theory spread quickly that this was a dark web front, a site where mercenaries and assassins quietly arranged work, hidden in plain sight as a forum for aging soldiers. But was it real? That's where the story fractures. Some argue the entire thing was an elaborate hoax, a piece of fiction crafted by internet storytellers. Others point to the strange behavior of the account after its owner died, and to the fact that the site was scrubbed and taken down the moment attention arrived. What actually happened? Nobody knows. The website is gone, the account is gone, and the man who started it all took whatever secret he was carrying to the grave. Suddenly, a forgotten Reddit comment wasn't just a strange phrase, it was a key to something that didn't want to be found. Mystery 3. Markovian Parallax Denigrate. The final mystery is the oldest, and in some ways the most unsettling, because it predates almost everything we associate with the modern internet. The year was 1996. The web was barely a decade old, and in the early days of Usenet, the message boards that existed long before Reddit or Facebook, something strange began to happen. Thousands of posts appeared across dozens of newsgroups. Each one was a wall of text made of perfectly ordinary English words, but read in order, they made no sense at all. No hidden meaning, no spam link, no advertisement, just noise, sentence after sentence of grammatically perfect, completely meaningless prose. Researchers later gave the phenomenon a name, Markovian Parallax Denigrate, a reference to the mathematical technique, Markov chains, that generates random text that statistically resembles human language. But here's the strange part. These weren't all posted by one account. They came from thousands of different addresses spread across the network. Whoever did it had gone to extraordinary lengths to hide themselves, or to make it look like a swarm of bots. And unlike almost every other mystery on this list, there was no payoff. No hidden puzzle at the end, no recruitment, no website, no message that appeared when you decoded the right layer. The posts just stopped as mysteriously as they'd begun. So, what were they? Some researchers believe it was a bot test, an early experiment in generating text, gone wrong and abandoned. Others think it was an art project, a statement about the meaninglessness of online communication. And there's a third theory, darker than the rest, that buried somewhere in all that noise was a real message, a covert communication hidden in plain sight, meant for exactly one person and invisible to everyone else. We'll probably never know. The archives are incomplete. The servers that hosted those posts are long gone, and whoever was behind it, person, bot, or something in between, never came forward. Think about that. Before search engines could index every word ever typed, someone flooded the early internet with text that meant nothing, and then vanished, leaving behind one of the oldest unsolved mysteries the web has ever produced. Three mysteries, three puzzles that were never solved, a recruitment test that found its recruits and disappeared, a password that unlocked a site that may have been a marketplace for the unthinkable, and a flood of meaningless words that may have carried a meaning only one person ever saw. And here's what connects all three. In an age where we assume everything online is recorded, tracked, and eventually understood, these stories prove that the opposite is still true. The internet keeps its own secrets. The greatest mystery of the internet may not be what we found, it's how much remains unknown. If you want to see more stories like these, the hidden corners, the unexplained signals, the truths nobody was supposed to find, subscribe and we'll keep digging.